journey from fear to love. I was born Muslim, but growing up, I was never taught how to love and be loved by God. Eventually, as a teenager, I gave up praying, and for the next decade, I wandered in search of something that would fill the emptiness of my soul. I visited mosques around the world, lived in a monastery, had spiritual experiences meditating with Buddhist monks, studied Taoism and Kabbalah, but I still couldn't find the inner peace I was seeking. In my early 20s, I was traveling through a small town in Turkey called Cappadocia, when the divine spark of faith ignited within me like lightning. All it took was my eyes to fall upon a woman who was drowned in her worship of God. I watched her pray in an old 17th century animal barn, as if nothing in the world exists but her divine lover. She did not robotically repeat words of prayer like a formula. Rather, every word she uttered came with a silent, "I love you, my beloved Lord." Her words were like synchronized dancers swimming in unison in the ocean of love that part of her. She was the first person I had ever seen in my life that not only prayed, but she herself became the prayer. I knew instantly that she had everything my soul had been seeking, but I still had no idea exactly what it was or how I would reach it. I was perplexed as to how I could suddenly feel at home in a strange land I had never known. It was not until many years later that I came to understand that our real homes are not the house we grew up in, but our real homes, the home of our souls, are built from the brick and mortar of divine praise. I knew now that the beauty that I witnessed in Turkey was not just a woman in love with God, but God's unconditional love pouring upon her. It was the fragrance of this divine love that awakened the sleeping lion of faith within me. Once the oil lamp of my heart was lit again, the darkness began to fall, until I fell into the presence of an imam from the Holy Mosque of Al-Aqsa in Jerusalem, who will teach me how to weather the seas of love and within me. It was through the guidance of this elderly Palestinian man, whom I would affectionately call Sidi, that my life will forever change. Sidi was a master of the spiritual science of Islam and the first teacher I ever had that called me to cut through the door of his love. Sidi told us, "Now, my beloved, that the love is eternal between Allah and His creation, and the electric circuit of His love flows through everything. If not for this, nothing would move that moves, nothing would live that lives. Every planet in its orbit and every cell its cures is what witness to the love of Allah and a sin of His wisdom. Keep this love inside you and love it all the time, because the moment you lose it, you lose yourself, you lose Him." The deeper I divide into the Quran, the heart of the prophets, and the teachings of the countless sages of Islamic history, the more I found that love had always been at the soul of Islam. It was only my heart that had been blind to the experience of it. As I began seeking more deeply, fasting, praying, and meditating upon God's word, I started to touch places inside my heart that I had never known existed. Slowly, my hardened heart softened, restoring my spiritual vision. The outer shell of who I thought I was set to break as the mask of my ego began to melt away, and feeling a spirit I had felt from time to time but had never fully embraced. I just started to feel the joy of my authentic self, which I later would come to know as the fitra or primordial gladness that exists at the core of all people. I felt called to write about it, but it was not until a few years ago that the call became so loud I could no longer ignore it. The message was clear: write a book about the loving her Islam. Although the cadence was straightforward, the voice of doubt in my mind fanned the flames of my insecurity, making me feel unworthy of what I felt God was seeking of me.